Yeah, and we're ready to go. I mean, I can just start the local recording whenever I want. Hello and welcome everyone on YouTube who's watching this now. We've been talking for like 30 seconds about absolutely nothing, but we've got Chinese Dota coming to you right now, 4 in the morning. Skim, I'm ready. I've downed some energy drinks. I'm good to go. Just absolutely chugged that lovely little orange flavoured beauty. Now we've got VG Gaming against Avalon Club. Avalon Club came in through the open qualifiers as we get our way through the round 1 of the brackets, where we have kind of seeded teams come in through the Chinese qualifiers. There's like tier 1, tier 2, and then open qualifier teams that find themselves in various parts of the bracket. And of course we have new rosters all around. VG Gaming, one of them. They dropped pretty much, what, 4 of their players and then brought in 4 more.
Yep, the entire VG Gaming organization has gotten like a really huge restructuring in this shuffle, because if you look at the past year and a half, their teams have performed quite badly. VGJ was really bad. They made it to the Kiev major, but that was basically about it. I don't know, all of VG Gaming and the VGJ J squads, even VG Gaming, what was it? VG Gaming Reborn last year at TI6 weren't too impressive, so I think this is like a really good start, to just restructure and have like a reborn squad in a sense. Even though some of these players, they've played in this constellation before, or not like the exact same 5 players, but it's the old eHome trio with like Fenrir, Lanem, and 11. So there's a lot of things that what you can expect, and you have the talents of Paparazzi and Ori, that both of which are very explosive, very very strong core players. So I'm looking forward to this squad.
Absolutely. I'm a little bit upset that they don't have their real names tagged up. Looks like the ticket's not here just yet, but we did have 11 tagged up as Young 11. Unfortunately, Lanham didn't follow suit. He is just Lanham. He's not old or young or anything. He's kind of reverted to his original form. But it should be like I think you picked the perfect word there, explosive. These players really do like to get up in their opponents' faces, not just in lanes, but throughout the mid games, just like running at people, punching them non-stop. It's pretty fun to watch. But yeah, like just a quick overview before we get into this draft properly. You've got Keen Gaming, who kind of detached and formed their own. They were eHome Keen before. Team Max or Team Max X, or there have been so many different like little teams here and there that have now kind of, I guess the whole Chinese scene is kind of reforming. It feels like it's this tumultuous time where the old guard are kind of taking longer breaks and extended breaks, or going into coaching. You've got the new blood coming out. Which team was it? There's a team in this qualifier that pretty much just took a bunch of their like B team squad, their young squad, and moved it into their main squad. It was VGJ. It was VGJ. They had VG Gaming Potential, and they moved like 4 players from Potential, or 3 players from Potential, into VGJ Thunder, which is always interesting to see.
Yeah, and in general, this is something that I think the Chinese team does very well in comparison to other scenes, fostering the talent, even though sometimes it's a bit slow, and, they do sometimes still go back for those like older players. Like last season, VG Gaming, instead of trusting their new roster, they went back and grabbed Hao and Chuan, because they're like, all right, we want to make TI, let's get these two guys. Obviously it didn't work. But still, in general, there's like a lot of growth and a lot of like fostering for the talent, and that's really cool to see, with all these academy teams. As you mentioned already, eHome has like a bunch of different teams. VG Gaming has had a bunch of different teams. Let's not even talk about LGD. So that's pretty cool to see. And if anybody here has watched the Chinese scene for like a couple of years, watched like a Chinese tier 2 scene, they will likely recognize a bunch of names. Like not necessarily in this matchup only, but throughout the entire day, I'm sure they'll recognize a bunch of these names, because these players, they do get a lot of chances to play these top teams, which I think helps the scene a lot. We look at Europe, a lot of like teams like say OG, Liquid, Secret. Sure, they play the qualifiers for like the big tournaments, but outside of that, they're gone. But in China, you have DPL, right? You have this tournament. You have so many qualifiers where so many of these smaller teams get to play the big teams. There's a lot of growth here.
Right, into the draft. Enough of the overview. We're going to see lots more. We've got 4 best of 3s coming at you today. Skim will be joining me for a couple of them, and we'll see who joins us later on in the day. But so far, draft is pretty interesting. I've been watching a lot of, EU, a lot of NA Dota as well, obviously, with the King's Cup going on right now. It's very, very different meta developing over there. You've got your offlane Pugner and all that fun stuff. Here, Vici Gaming start things off with the classic Lanham Kunkka, expecting him to be picking that up. But they also go with the DP Oracle, kind of deviating away from the Necro, the Veno, the Night Stalker, the Earthshaker. All these heroes, obviously, a handful of them have been banned out, but also a couple of them kind of ignored. Like, where is the Necro right now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And as you mentioned, just watching any Dota right now in the Western side of things, you'll automatically say Necro in the first four either picks or bans. And this is very interesting to see that none of these teams are picking it up. Maybe it's just these two teams. Maybe if we go into the next few games in a couple of best of threes, we'll see more Necro. But for now, this is very surprising. But I think it sort of suits Vici Gaming to go for these kind of heroes right now. As you mentioned, the Kunkka is one of their go-to heroes. I know Ori likes playing the Death Prophet as well, and Legion Commander is such an aggressive offlaner for 11 as well. So maybe they just go with what they feel comfortable with.
Comfort picks indeed. Could you just talk to me a second, very quickly?
Yes. Hello. Test 1 2 3.
That's very interesting. Either I am going deaf in my right ear, or there is something wrong here. But I'm pretty sure it is just on my side. There's some faulty cable because.
No, it could have been. It could be me. I'll be honest.
No, you popped into my right ear for about 30 seconds, and I was very confused because I thought I was going absolutely mental.
Oh, all right.
I'm pretty sure no one on stream has complained. Everything's mono on there, so it's just the stereo in my ears that's gonna be a bit fucky, It's gonna be a bit wonky, but we'll deal with it. Monkey King for Avalon Club. We've seen a lot of this in the one role in a bunch of different other regions, and we could potentially see that here. Whereas the difficulty with this draft is that you don't know where any of the heroes are going. They could literally be in any role that you want to throw them into. Vici, they're a bit more obvious about what they're doing. They're going in heavy-handed with that draft. Here's one of our supports, here's our mid, here's our other support, here's our offlaner. We're going to pick a carry last. With Avalon Club, it's like, here's an offlaner or a support, and an offlaner or a carry or a mid, and a mid or a carry or a support, and a roamer or a mid or a carry. Damn. Good luck trying to decide what we're going to do here, because you've got no idea.
To be fair, though, and I definitely think this is great, and we've seen a lot of teams exploit this, and this is why a lot of these heroes are so popular in Night Stalker, especially. But a lot of teams that try and force deck these things, oh yeah, sure, we'll leave our plan open until the last pick. That can backfire a lot, right? If you go into the draft and pick these heroes that can go anywhere, and you think to yourself, all right, we'll always have like a we can always fall back on, say, putting the Venomancer offlane or whatever, or putting the Monkey King onto the support position or whatever. It can backfire a little bit where you end up going with a game plan that doesn't really work out too well, and potentially having sort of like jack of all trades, master of none kind of heroes. But I think it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe Avalon went into the draft thinking, all right, we'll go with a certain game plan, and these heroes just happen to be very versatile picks. But I fully expect the Monkey King carry at this point. I just don't see any of the other heroes really working out as in a carry position, and then a Night Stalker as a roamer.
Yeah, there is that kind of precedent of Night Stalker offlane being loved in China. Then there was that kind of fade away where we saw a lot of players go with the roaming Night Stalker, but I'm unsure about the Sand King pick. I do love a bit of Sand King in the roaming position, but I don't know who's going to be better here in lane. Night Stalker's super tanky. He's not going to be too susceptible to getting killed off by Troll, Oracle, Kunkka, or if they do stick around to try and kill him, at least you've held two supports there and kind of opened up your other lanes. And with two tanky heroes that are interchangeable, like we've been talking about, these kind of flexible picks, Sand King and Night Stalker, they can both really stick it to the enemy supports very early on. And then you've got lane winners in your other lanes. And it's something really important when you're looking at roaming heroes or you're looking at winning lanes, is if you can focus pressure into a specific area of the map, let's say the enemy safe lane, where Troll needs farm, right? He's not a great flash farmer, can't really come back into the game through farming jungle too efficiently, even though he can buy lifesteal, can go into Roshan quite early on. He needs that lane farm to really, get that kind of leapfrog going. He needs to get the engine ticking.
Right.
So being able to keep those supports there, having Venomancer who can, you know, maybe force attraction to his lane or look for kills, having lanes which you can activate with your roaming heroes to actually, you know, make kills happen there, rather than just, right, we're going to poke and prod, walk around, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You need to have very clear objectives, I think, in your gameplay when you've got two such, you know, active and dynamic heroes between the Night Stalker and Sand King.
Prepare for battle.
It does look like the Sand King's gone PMS. Where's Night Stalker off to? Brown Boots.
Yeah,
first.
it should be roaming Night Stalker. TT is their roaming support. I just went to like a couple of their replays and drafts. He usually plays their support. He's their support player basically. So it is most likely just going to be the off-lane Sand King. But as you pointed out, it's very likely going to be the two of them in the off-lane for most of the time anyway. Just trying to force the supports back to the safe lane, buying a little bit of space for these two heroes on this on the core positions, you know, with the Venomancer and the Monkey King, who can kind of handle themselves fairly well by themselves, for the most part anyway.
Yeah. And then you've got to look at the Kunkka and the Oracle. These are two heroes that are pretty good at kind of disrupting aggression. Kunkka with the Torrent, the X, the Boat, so good in team fights and even early skirmishes at just making things slow down a little bit. Reset and look for maybe a turnaround. Oracle, similar kind of story. But if you're up against, you know, this unfettered aggression of a Sand King Night Stalker just running at you, they can struggle. They're not the best defensive tri-lane heroes, and we might even see a little bit of a lane swap here. They've seen Sand King Night Stalker go for this bounty rune. Troll Oracle, they're going for a wander up towards top lane, and I think they might do a little bit of a swap there, put Legion down towards bot. So who do we have on these heroes? It is Lanham Kunkka, right?
It is Lanham Kunkka, 100%.
I'm assuming so. When it got picked, I was just like, that's Lanham Kunkka. I said it without a shadow of a doubt, and I know that sometimes it's pretty bad to do that, because you can be wrong. You can sometimes be wrong, but it looks like that's the way things are. And over on the Oracle, that's Fenrir.
Fenrir, yeah.
Yes, and then everyone else is normal, Ori DP, Paparazzi Troll, and then we have 11 on the Legion Commander. And the Dire team, I know very little about Skim because I couldn't find any of their bloody games.
I don't know if the names that they're running with are like their official names either, because there's very little official games in a sense. So, you know, let's just pretend that they are. And I am pretty much on the same boat. I also know very little about these teams. I've been going through some of the replays, and they're not that bad, but it's. No offense here, but you know they are like a tier 2, tier 3 team in the Chinese scene. So, Vici Gaming going into this are very much the favorites here.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen some good things from the old FTD, the old EMK, Max X, but this is a new one to me. I mean, we even used to have the old Braveheart team was knocking around for a little bit, but so Vici Gaming aggressive tri-lane now. Not really what they wanted to do, but something they have to do. Again, this duo of supports doesn't really pair up too favorably against the Sand King Night Stalker roaming. Night Stalker, I'm going to keep my eyes on you. You are doing sneaky things in the trees. Trying to look for that courier snipe, but it looks like Ori is well ahead of his opponents, keeping the tangos he wanted to bring to himself very safely in behind that tier 3. Not going to lose his courier just now. There's the Death Prophet. I wonder how this matches up, actually. It's been a long time since I've seen a DP against a Veno in the mid lane, Skim. This is going to be interesting to watch, actually.
It's going to be very interesting. I think going forward, the Venomancer is going to catch up a little bit and going to do quite well. As DP, getting rid of those wards, you know, once they're like level 3, level 4, it's going to be much more difficult. But for now, I think Ori's playing it very well in this lane. I mean, just looking at the last hits, he's obviously leading, and he's definitely harassing Dream on quite a bit. But again, I do think once those wards are higher level, if he does actually go for them, he's going to go for Gale first.
Torrent, they've caught them. The axes, the slow from the troll set this all up so perfectly. Paparazzi's going to take a few little hits there from the Monkey King, but won't suffer a death. That was really nice. Paparazzi starts off with the ranged axes, slows down the Silencer, who, to be honest, did overstep a little bit, kind of went over this line, got himself in a bit of trouble. Then there was a perfect Torrent into the Oracle's Fortune's End, and it was just right clicks for days from there on out. But back to this mid lane, yeah. Venomancer very good just right-clicking and harassing people, punching people to force them off the wave. But I guess DP functions in a way where you are both hitting creep wave, and yeah, that one misses, but the majority of the time you're going to hit the Crypt Swarm, right? So you're trading that regen more effectively than a Veno ever will, because, well, outside of Gale, you are just single target.
Yep, and he can just force the, he can just, whenever he wants, he can also just push out the wave and force the Venomancer to last it under his own tower. And with wards, oh, top lane, looks like they want to go in again. Just some harassment traded here. Or is it?
Well, interesting little back and forth, isn't it? Silencer just stands his ground and throws some glaives.
Well, a lane we haven't looked at, by the way, so far is the bottom lane, which I guess is to be expected. It's a Sand King versus a melee hero.
Yeah, Legion
It's not funny
not gonna
as a Legion. Yeah.
2-0-2, Caustic Finale being leveled up, and Sand King having a very, very happy timer. I mean, Legion's getting some CS here, but all around top lane, Monkey King gone on a gain here. Troll goes in with the bash, good bound to strike back though, gets the lifesteal in. And Monkey survives while Troll won't lose his life just yet. Silencer trying to pile the damage in onto Oracle, and it looks like they might get a +2 there for Kylin. They do. Nice. Well played there by the Dire team. Evening things out 1-1. Silencer getting his revenge with the help of Night Stalker this time. As Gale thrown out mid. Now, Dream On not going to go in for anything too deep. But VG Gaming, they just have this draft that they know that once they get levels, once they hit their timings, DP is going to be up and running. And the Dire will likely struggle to deal with a 5-man, right? That's what we're looking at here, is the 5-man, the save from the Oracle, the Troll being such an absolute beefcake up on the front lines. How does the Dire team actually come out on top? And they kind of have to win these lanes, looking at the draft.
Definitely. They have to win these lanes, and they have to make sure that this Sand King also has a really fantastic lane, and an early Blink Dagger as well. Once the 5-man comes rolling up, they need to rely on those Blink Epis, because they don't really have anything else to throw against them. Yeah, they have a Boundless Strike, they have maybe the Silencer with the Curse, but that's about it. I mean, I guess the Venom wards are also but with, with Troll Warlord, with Death Prophet, with Legion, you can get rid of those wards quite quickly.
You certainly can. Torrent, oh, very close from Lanham. They even throw the Spirit Siphon there to try and catch the Veno. Not quite good enough, but now Kunkka's shown mid lane. They know Paparazzi's open. The Troll just getting right-clicked and beaten down there. Found the strike and the final punch in from the Monkey. That's going to be pretty obvious when Kunkka shows mid. They've left themselves so open top.
Yeah, I was surprised that they even did it the way they did it, because the Troll was very greedily farming there. If they know that, the Troll Warlord is heading mid anyway, why is he even there? But as I say that, Troll TP's bought him, because, free farm.
Safe lane is mine. And I guess once they've passed that level 1 to level 3 marker where Night Stalker Sand King can bully the Oracle and Kunkka, they can now move down here and kind of set up that bunker safe lane, make sure everything's nice and happy. Try and guard their bounty runes as well. And Sand King actually went for the phase boots, so more of a lane domination build here, it looks like. The movement speed, the attack damage to try and punch Legion, maybe not going to be as good in this 1v2 or 1v3 that he'll find himself in very shortly.
Oh, I love it though. I think it's the right decision. Maybe he could have also gone drums. The kind of things that you build when you have like a really good 1v1 lane. But I just love it. It does suck for him now that the Troll Warlord is here. But if the Night Stalker rotates, I think they might even be able to get a kill here.
It does a lot of damage if you get them early on. I'm not disagreeing. It's just one of those things where you bought it for the 1v1 and you're like, well, it's not a 1v1 anymore. Yeah. How sad. But Sand King's been hiding, did a nice little illusion bait over towards the west near the bounty rune. I'm not sure.
They pinged him though. They pinged him. Yeah, they pinged him.
So they're sure he's here. They might be able to just walk on through, but DP has had enough on the spot lane. Goes back towards mid, and this is where the Dire might look to set up on the Troll. But look at Kunkka, Lanham. He's actually just blocking the path. Sand King doesn't have a target to go on. They have to go on to the Kunkka. They'll blow him up. Lanham's dead. Gets a torrent out with his dying breath, which won't hit anyone, unfortunately. But he tanked it for the Troll, which is really all he was looking for.
Yeah, pretty much what a support's got to do. But this is just very good for the Dire. They definitely need the space for the Sand King. Any kill really on the Night Stalker early on is also very good. He just needs the experience. Also has face boots, by the way. He's had a good time. And, this is pretty much what we thought about from the get-go, right? If you have this aggro trailing, or if you have this aggressive lane, look at the course. I mean, look at the Venomancer and look at the Monkey King. They're having the time of their life in their lanes.
Skim. Thankfully, someone on Twitter has told me all of your Dota TV audio goes through me, so you can mute yourself in game. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, all right.
So
I didn't. Yeah, right.
You've been echoing, and it's been all my fault.
Thanks. Finally, something's not my fault. Holy shit.
See, it's so easy. I just blame myself for everything.
Nice.
Mid lane, they're looking for this movement in onto Venno. Good observe what's placed. They've got duel as well, so if they get this X into Torrent, oh, Lanham's just a god. He's just
Doesn't
a god.
need an X.
He's got an X now to get the duel. They'll land it onto the Venno. The damage looks good enough. Drag it back into the danger zone of the DP ult, and that is
bottom lane.
Winner
Oracle.
for Legion. Oh, I missed it. You called it, but I didn't get there fast enough. Diving into tier 2s. What happened?
They just kept running at him. There's just nothing he could do, or nothing Oracle could do. But yeah, good kill in the mid lane. Nice torrent. I'm not even sure if the torrent doesn't hit. Do they even get it? Because X level 2 doesn't have the longest cast range.
Yeah, it's just that godlike torrent.
Oh.
Just Lanham things. So Monkey's been farming and he's interesting. He's going for the Battle Fury build. I like this.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Me neither. But look, he's getting punished so hard by Legion. Wait, is there a duel? There's a duel in a second. Oh my god. No way for left. Oh, he jumped in the trees. Can you cut the tree? No, he tried. Tangos. Oh, the monkey's up.
Korea?
He's out. All the lemon just going in. This is what you were talking about when you said explosive, right? He finds the DD rune. He runs at the enemy carry. Nearly kills the courier. Nearly gets a duel win. And you're left scrambling, thinking, do we TP to defend this? Do we go make action somewhere else? One hero is causing chaos in your ranks. What do you do?
I might still go for this. Duel.
Oh my god, they got him. The monkey's dead. They even got the Fate's Edict on him at the last second, so he couldn't right-click during the duel. Now Legion. Is that 3-punch? Oh yeah. So much regen. Never gonna die to the silencer, not in a million years.
That hurts watching it. But yeah, this is a second duel win for a Legion commander without a Blink Dagger after a laning stage that Legion definitely lost. I mean, you say lost because, Sand King technically got more, but just didn't have the greatest laning stage as a Legion commander and just gets 2 duel wins for free. Might even get a... No, shouldn't get a kill here.
Can Monkey do this?
Might die here though.
Boundless Strike's ready. Fate's Edict is up. No, he's duped him. Oh, he missed the Boundless Strike. Can you jump down onto this Legion? You can, right? You've got to be able to get this kill. Silencer, that punch is just about going to do it. They kill Kunkit in the meantime. Down at the bottom tier 1, Night Stalker and Sand King. Again, the dynamic duo pairing up.
Oh. And Sand King with that, just 500 gold away from his Blink. He should probably have it before the Legion does, just because the Legion just died. But... we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is good. This is good aggression coming out from the Dire still. Even if bottom lane X with the torrent.
Sand King, who's got a Burrow Strike up, but he's silent. Sorry with the early value point in that silence. Didn't even max out Crypt Swarm. 3-1-4-1.
And it paid off.
Beautiful.
Well, just like that. Luckily for the Sand King, he didn't lose too much gold. About 200 maybe. Could have been worse, I suppose.
That's fine for him.
Yeah, this is definitely still going to be on time for this Blink Dagger, considering he went for Phase Boots first.
So Venno's going 4-staff, not going to go for the Midas just yet. Needs that escape item since there's really no one else on his team that's going to be heading that way. Everyone else wants to be playing aggressively.
You can still go back for it.
Yeah, you can still go back for him. Just looking at kind of initial items. We saw the Battle Fury being built by Monkey, and I'm wondering if that changes. It's going to help him. It's going to help him farm, and it's going to do a lot of damage. And it's a good all-round item. We've seen so much though of Echo Saber. Bash has of course gone out of favor since the changed result. Deso is always good.
Shadowblade.
Shadowblade is a big one as well. I do wonder what the kind of additional thought process is behind it, or if it is going to be that kind of counter-timing thing, right? Where the Radiant, they're weak now, they become strong in the mid-game, and while they're strong in the mid-game, you're pushing out lanes and you're farming and kind of dodging fights. Dodging Exorcism is probably a big one as well. It's probably what I would do. I don't want to run into a DP with their ulti up. I want to go hit creeps.
I don't think anybody wants to.
I'm going to go farm.
Yeah, I think that might just be it. Honestly, I'm wondering if this was the plan from the get-go, or if this maybe just was an idea that he developed during the game, or during the bottom lane. That's a dead Venomancer.
Oh wow, indeed it is. Monkey King trying to get some kind of turn back, but Fate's Edict is proving to be this tool from the Oracle that is so valuable, stopping the Monkey King from doing any attacks. There's DD rune down to the bot spot. Oh, Monkey's jumping back in. Not going to find the Kunkka. Lanham just wanders off. This DD Night Stalker though, sneaking around, getting bounty runes. Observer what is deep, spots the DP, moving back towards mid lane. And Sand King has the blink. So things are looking good for the Dire.
He actually got it later, or he got it after the Legion Commander. Of course, they had to jinx it. But with both of them, should probably look for a kill soon. The Sand King one hasn't been revealed yet. Oh, Oracle? Just dead. But yeah, the Sand King one hasn't been revealed yet. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just waiting for like a smoke, or for like enough gold for smoke, so he can just TP out smoke and just try and find a kill with the Monkey King, with the Night Stalker.
Just make something happen. Well, for now, Troll just popping his ult to take this mid-tier 1. They are pressuring top at the same time. There's a glyph though. And with this Sand King TP, Epicenter at the ready. If Vici Gaming stick around too long, and it looks like they have, Troll still up on the front line for two-man burrow. Not quite the dream. The global
he misses the Gale
out, though, and the Gale doesn't land onto the DP, you're right. So that will be an extraction from the Kunkka and the Death Prophet. They defend their tier 1 though, and they get the kill on the Troll, but this is a really kind of weak Troll. Mask of Madness, he's in farming mode. He just wanted a tier 1, then he would dip back into the jungle. But 5 to 8, 14 minutes in, the first real big global comes out, the real big fight starts, one person dies.
I thought that was a bit of a weak read from the Radiant in general. You know, they're like they're like pushing the tier 1. Legion is free farming mid. They don't see anybody on the map because they only have one ward, and they haven't seen the Sand King in like 3 minutes or 2 minutes ever since they killed him, and he still is sitting there with his Mask of Madness trying to push the tower. I don't know. It feels a bit of a. I feel like it should get suspicious at some point. Oh, maybe there's a Sand King somewhere.
Especially when like DP ult was down. I think it was just one of those things where they were trying to make pressure happen. You know, they had top lane pushing, mid lane pushing. It's just kind of group up and let's do something. Trying to open, because like to farm as Troll in this situation with a Mask of Madness, you probably have access to what, 2, maybe 3 camps. Like you can take this one down here on the eastern side, because the map is now cut with a tier 1 bot going, right? So you can't access this part of the jungle. So basically these 2 camps here are where you live, and you don't want to live there as Troll. Now they take tier 1 top lane, he can all of a sudden increase his farming by like 3 extra camps in the Dire jungle, which is pretty sick. So I think it's one of those, you know, expected loss kind of moves. You know someone's going to die, but the move that you're making could open things up so drastically for you that it's worth it.
True. That's a good point. And he did have a much better read bottom now. After pushing out the wave, he immediately drew back because, I don't know, Night Stalker being gone for like a solid minute is super suspicious. Still doesn't show on the map. So the Radiant are doing the one right thing, they're grouping up. Basically, DP is the only hero that's not with the rest of the team, and the rest of the team is just sitting mid, waiting for the enemy to make a mistake, I believe. Or maybe just grouping up and trying to push the tower together as 5.
Well, the Dire have global again, so you do have to be a little bit worried about that. If you are going to 5-man into it. The line's drawn there. I didn't quite catch if that was teal or light blue. I don't know if it's a Dire saying they're going to come down, or if it's the Radiant saying let's go down. But either way, the Dire do all retreat back to their shrine. They go and farm some Ancients for the Veno wards, get some gold in their pockets. They've got a smoke on the Night Stalker, and yeah, they're going to use it with the Sand King. Move all the way up. Monkey King maybe was trying to go for a bit of a bait play there. They've got Observer wards watching access into his jungle and that top lane, but the Radiant, they're not going to go for it. They might come up and defend tier 1 if there's a concerted effort to try and push it, but like, why would Vici Gaming go and look for a kill? They're pretty happy just to sit back and farm for now, wait for DP ult to come back up, recycle and push. Oh, paparazzi.
Yep. He just gave him that kill.
Well, that's a lot of ultis. That's a lot of ultis. And that's global down. So this
That's global down.
This means that like Legion and DP can likely go and look for a kill, look for a tower, look for a little snipe like that. Veno didn't get the deny, so 11 says thank you very much, I will have this. But yeah, with all those ultis down now, the Radiant have a huge opportunity, right?
Right, but at the same time, I do think it was almost worth it just to secure that kill, making sure you discourage anybody from TPing in the first place, so you definitely get the tower in addition to the kill. So I think in that sense, it was kind of worth it. Plus, because they had to pop the Night Stalker ultimate, and it just turned daytime before he used ultimate, they were probably not going to look for a fight in the next few minutes anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think it was okay, but I do just definitely agree with you. This opens up the map for the Radiant a little bit, and as you can see, Legion Commander and Death Prophet already looking to get things going. Oh, and that's a dead silencer.
Yeah, they even scanned top, so they know that someone is still sitting top lane, because they threw a scan out there. TP's coming down now, but the blink from Legion's ready. Venom Ward's going to cancel that, and 11's going to maybe regret his decisions. The X. Oh, is there a torrent? There is Lana. He's caught the Sand King with Ori popping an ulti. That's going to be the Sand King getting force-staffed away.
No detection.
What? Lanham, come on, my dude. Come on. Where's your torrent boat? Throw it. Get in there. Ah, Sand King just blinks away.
They baited a Death Prophet ultimate. That's kind of nice. I thought it was a very questionable decision from the Dire to even engage in the first place, because as I just pointed out, or as we pointed out, they had just used global. It was daytime. There was no way to make it nighttime, and then you just jump in with the Sand King. But it worked out fine, so you know, it's nice. But it could have backfired if they had detection there. That's a dead Sand King. It might be a dead troll now, though. They know he's here.
How does Paparazzi have so much net worth when he's like? It feels
he keeps dying. I know he keeps dying.
He just spends. This is why. This is the sign of a godlike pro player right here. Is he goes and farms. He farms like 2,000 gold. He buys all those items, so he loses nothing.
Nope. Literally lost nothing, and he's fourth highest in net worth. He shouldn't be. I mean, any other player or a lot of other players wouldn't be in his place, like you mentioned, but he's doing a very good job. And in a sense, it's buying a lot of space. Legion Commander could push up the wave a lot bottom. Death Prophet knows that she can farm safely. Sand King might not be safe, but...
That's a good silence as well. It catches to the global, just using as a safe kind of back up and get the hell out of here mechanism, but that's not what you want to be using your global for. Now it's on cooldown, they'll have to reset, and again, good opportunity to for VG to go and look for some fights. Was that Darkness popped as well? It was. That was Nightstalker ulti and global.
It's gonna be nighttime soon anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. I think they popped the global because they were scared of a duel. I don't think they saw the Legion Commander at that point, and you just don't want to give them like a free duel like that. So. In that sense, I guess it's okay, but it does seem like Silencer's a little bit trigger happy with that global.
Monkey, with the Battle Fury all done now, is heading into the Shadow Blade. Kind of more expected. As he farms a nice few little creep camps over in the jungle. But here is natural nighttime, and the Stalker is wandering around. He could get an Observer Ward up on this high ground. It is just a sentry there. But he's trying to scout out people lurking in the shadows here. 4 from the Radiant, all moving towards mid, as Legion, it looked like, jumped in, but didn't quite catch. Yeah, Hurricane Pike's on cooldown, so Venno must have had some quick fingers there to get away from that Blink duel. Oh, hello. Nightstalker, oh no, he's not going to get it. He tried at level 1, he tries now at level 9. Not going to get the Courier Snipe this game, but look at this. Troll inside the Roshan pit, and who spots him? There's the Monkey King up on the tree. They're going to have to play aggressively, or he moves forward. There's the silence, the X on the silencer. Now the silence E, as Ori absolutely demolishes, and there's the Blink Duel as well. Venno cleared up. 2 for 1 so far. Paparazzi did die in the back end, but this is Ori chasing on forward. X into boat. There's another. Ulti is done, but he jumps off the tree, and this should be Roshan cleared up for the Radiant as they trade 1 for 3. Paparazzi again. A kind of gift to the gods placed upon the altar and sacrificed for the greater good of the team. But if it works, it works.
He might just end this game with like a 0-10 scoreline, but he will have like the highest net worth and they'll still win. It's absolutely insane, and I don't know. I think at this point his team just totally recognizes the fact. All right, he just focus on his troll. Let's kill everybody else. It works out for them. It was a bit disconnected from Avalon, the way they approached that fight. I think half of the team had the right idea, trying to backstab this Roshan attempt, and then the other half was sort of, I don't know. It felt like they didn't realize. All right, hey, if we walk this way, they might actually see us.
The second half got bulldozed, I feel.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Some seriously heavy machinery from Vici there, just running up a hill, and the Dire walked into it. But
and this comes a little bit back to the fact that they used the global earlier. Yep. If they had global in this fight, maybe the Venomancer doesn't die that early. He force-taps himself in, ultis everybody, and that fight has like a completely different ending.
Exactly. Global, such a good aggressive tool. It is just the talking point with Silencer, with Global Silence. Since the hero was picked up to, counter, Enigma, Tidehunter combos, whatever, the big wombo combos, to go along with Meepo. It's such a good aggressive tool, but when used defensively, it can be very lackluster, or it gets you stuck in a rut, right? It gets you stuck in a rut one way or another. When you're using it aggressively, you keep on going aggressive, aggressive, aggressive with the globals, always looking for kills, but the one time that you're caught off guard, the one time you use it defensively, it just ruins your rhythm. Like that synchronicity you have with the rest of your team, with the game flow, that kind of idea of looking for picks and using global as that blanket of safety. Suddenly it becomes this blanket of tears and ruined dreams when you're using it defensively, you know?
Right, and it's a bit of a... It's very difficult to manage as well, because sometimes, you know, alright, is it worth it to just get this one kill? Like, can you really predict what's going to happen in the next, what, is it like 120 seconds or something? 130 seconds. You know, what is going to happen in those 130 seconds that it is on cooldown? And I think VG Gaming just playing very well around it. They're just making sure that they get objectives while that ultimate is on cooldown. And for now, I don't think Avalon is getting the right trades. And if you actually look at just the way they're farming, Monkey King's only barely ahead, even though he built that.
Oh, can they catch this though? Nice Talk is very, very quick. Yeah, this is an excellent torrent. They've got him. Easy duel win. But yeah, the Monkey King, net worth-wise, barely ahead. He's doing a lot of split pushing, getting some damage onto tier 2. But in the team fights, we've not really felt his presence, right? He does still need a fair few items to get up and kind of on the level of the rest of the players in the game.
Well, that was a good pickoff for VG Gaming. They do have Exorcism and the Aegis, so I don't see a reason why they shouldn't push this set from the fact that Troll isn't there, I suppose. But do they even need him for this, technically? No, I don't think so.
He just pops ulti, right? He just uses ulti, farms bot lane. Maybe he dies bot, who knows? Tier 2 will fall. But
alright. Is Paparazzi gonna end this game with a kill?
He has to.
You sure?
He has to. It's physically impossible for a carry player to not say to his team, "Hey guys, just let me take this one kill on the silencer." They're gonna give him a last hit.
I'm gonna say he's not gonna get a kill in this game. I'm feeling it.
You can do 10 push-ups if you lose.
Sure.
And you have to record it and put it in your next podcast.
I'm not so sure about that one.
Okay, fine. Record it and send it to me for later use.
Posterity.
Posterity, yeah. Venomancer's going for this kind of, maybe, I don't want to call it old school, but when Venomancer started to kind of come to prominence was when Maybe was starting to pick it up.
Yeah.
Like LGD, you know, he was going Maelstrom, Hurricane Pike. He didn't really go for the Midas until a little bit later on. So this is a very kind of staple build on the Veno. Going into the Maelstrom, then the BKB. There's not going to be, you know, Blink Ags or any of that shenanigans. There's no Veil. There's no Hand of Midas there, of course. So it is just going to be this brawling Veno up in people's faces, hopefully not getting dueled upon. But it also means that you rely very heavily on your Silencer and your Sand King at disrupting teamfights and making sure that you're not getting caught. But it does open things up for the Monkey here as Kunkka found by the Sand King. Great found of strike, actually up to 2. But there's the false promise from the Oracle. Global comes out a little bit late, it feels like there, as VG Gaming start to retreat. X-Torrent, there's the Kunkka gone, there's the Yules from Sand King perfectly placed. As Ori tries to turn back around on them, gets the Spirit Siphon onto the Veno. No Hurricane Pike for 10 seconds. This could be a go. There's no one to back them up. Legion Commander ready with a Blink duel, but they can't go in. They can't filter through one by one. It was very good from the Dire there to kind of group up, realizing that the AoE had cleared from the Radiant. It is just Kunkka. Everything left is single target, so they group up and say, right, you take on one of us, you take on all of us.
No, but at the same time, though, you know, for VG Gaming, they didn't really have to invest anything into that defense. They didn't pop Exorcism because it was on cooldown. They just lost the Kunkka. They almost had potential to turn it around, you know, when they baited it with the Kunkka, or they baited the Dire basically in by just giving Kunkka false promise. So I don't know. You know, it almost could have worked out for them, and I think just taking that loss is fine for them. The global is on cooldown again, so they can just go for like a push. And just coming back to the Venom build, yeah, like you said, to me it's like the Chinese build, just because I did see it first on, you know, maybe in a couple of other Chinese players, and I think it's not necessarily a bad build right now, because you know, we've seen him get popped very quickly, and this way, sure, you're a bit squishy, but at the same time, you're not as reliant on getting that ultimate out as you usually are, because, you know, the traditional Venomancer build is just, you know, just jump in, get your ultimate out, you're done, basically. With this, he can be a bit more sustainable in fights. He can help out with the physical damage as well, because right now they only have the Monkey King, really.
Yeah.
And Monkey King is not the best physical damage dealer right now.
Yeah. He needs very specific team fights, choke points, where his ulti can get a lot of damage done, defending or pushing high ground, or just little pick-offs here and there with a sneaky jump in with a Venom strike, but Vici Gaming want to make a play on the Veno again. Oh, that is just absolute annihilation. So easy. 11 just jumped straight on in.
And there's no real safe potential either. Even if, you know, Sand King, Night Stalker had been there, there's nothing they can really do against it because they just don't have the defensive capabilities right now. I'm not sure they will ever have them, to be honest, but they will have to all come back now because this is going to be a tier 3 push with Exorcism, possibly.
And all of a sudden, Venomancer's in a position where you might have to buy back. 35 seconds until respawn. Monkey King invis here, ready with the ulti. Very good high ground defensive tool, and that's a lot of damage on the Legion. Promise does come
troll.
out. Here's the where did Paparazzi come from? He's finished farming, Skip. He's got a BKB. Paparazzi's ready, but they don't have a save. They don't have Ori for the BKB. It does come out now. The Spirit Cypher's look at the bot. Plan They're killing everybody off one by one. Avalon will fall. The global comes out after everyone's freaking dead. The X back on the monkey and slapped down by Paparazzi. He got a kill. He is 1, 5, and 8 Kim. He got one. He said, guys, give me that monkey. And he spanked him.
He definitely did. That was a beautiful team fight from Vici Gaming. A nice spot. Just overall, just very good team fight coordination. But at the same time, you can tell that this is a very difficult lineup to execute at this stage of the game for the Diary. Even if they had Global there, I'm not even sure it does much at that stage of the game. Just because, you know, once Exorcism is out, the Troll Warlord and Death Prophet, they don't need to get their spells out. They can just hit you. And, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like they have any way to engage, like, right now. You have Blink Epi, but where's the follow-up? Like, Force Staff, Poison Nova? That's it.
That's the thing, right? Is that Veno bought back for that with like 25 seconds remaining on his respawn timer, buys back, goes in, pops his ulti and dies.
Yep.
That was pretty much Veno's fight contribution. Couldn't get wards down because he got Blink dueled so early on. Now they get Aegis, they get Shrine, so much gold flowing in and out. Like, I'm stuck in this fight recap still, Skin, because Lanam did 4.3 thousand damage in that fight. The closest one to him was Monkey with 3.4. Everyone else was like 2k or below. Lanam with that torrent boat onto like 4 people.
4 heroes, yeah.
Insane.
Absolutely insane, and you know that's why you immediately called out the Lanam Kunkka. It's one of his signature heroes. He, you know, back when when Kunkka came into the meta about 1.5 years ago, he basically not necessarily redefined how to play the hero, but you know, the Armored Kunkka, that was his build.
Yeah, sure was.
There also sure was a Night Stalker at some point.
The classic 1-4-1 build on Kunkka with the armlet for Lanam was very nice. You know what's come back in a big way? I've been playing UK in-house league games. We've got this nice little Dota in-house league for a bunch of UK players. You know, MMR ranges from 7k down to 2k, whatever. So we get a nice mix of players in our game, so it's all pretty fun. But there's a couple of players that I don't know if they know, so I've yet to tell them. I'm waiting to see if they realize. They've been playing roaming Juggernaut. They've been playing Juggernaut in the 4 position with like Windlace, Orb of Venom, and just running around hitting people with spin. And that's a Lanam classic as well.
It's a Lanam classic as well.
TI4 Lanam Juggernaut.
With DDK, yes.
Brown boots running around, killing people was so good.
A lot of fun. The healing ward, so good. I don't know. It's Lanam is just a very, very smart player overall. It's just a very fun player to watch. It's just a very fun person to watch, honestly.
It's so difficult for the Sand King. Like, what do you do? I'm gonna stun troll. I just have to borrow strike troll, I guess. Such great concave and positioning here from Vici.
Look, they don't even have a sentry for the Legion.
Legion's just in. There's the global, but the duel's already happened. The boat lands. The Shivers comes out. Ori has so much gold up on this DP, even holding the cheese. And they'll just clean up through this. There really is a severe lack of damage and control from the Dire team. Sand King found by the torrent yet again by Lanam Kunkka. And with a buyback only on the SK, that's GG. Game 1 of this best of 3 goes the way of Vici Gaming as expected. But Avalon, they did put up a good fight with a kind of unconventional draft and laning stage. It's not a completely weird and wacky. It's not what we really expected.
Yeah, but I they showed a lot of promising stuff, especially during the laning stage, and I think this is, I mean, if you were to compare a lot of like tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 teams, that is where you usually would. I think this is usually what you see. You see like a lot of like good beginning, but then they usually fall off in the mid game because usually their mid game execution, their planning, their movement, their decision making is just overall not up to par. And I think this game definitely showed it. I feel like in the mid game they just didn't do the right things. They didn't trade favorably at all. Sure, you can also make the argument that it comes back to the lineup, but I just overall think that in the mid game they just didn't really know what to do. They just tried to go for like a kill here or there with the Sand King. That's nice, but that was pretty much it. They didn't really group up ever to try and get something done. They didn't really. They had one smoke or 2 smokes maybe. That was about it. I don't know. It just didn't really feel like they knew what to do with their lineup, and BG Gaming just, I don't know, outclassed them.
Yeah, we knew it from the draft. There was going to be that kind of key moment where things suddenly snap, and you've got to either bend with it or you're just going to break. Honestly, and Avalon definitely broke in that final engagement. Bot Venom got picked off, then they just got cleared on through, and that was kind of game over from one singularity, one moment in time, and everything kind of just span away from them. But these are best of 3s. These are best of 3s. I believe they're at like a mini LAN as well. All these Chinese qualifiers for big tournaments, for majors and all that. They do kind of set up little LANs over in China. So I believe that's what's happening. We've got the admins on the job getting all these little lobbies up for us, which we have to join pretty soon, I think. So we're going to cut it off there, go back to the waiting screen, join the lobby so we don't get shouted at, and we will be back in a couple of minutes.